Once they were just workhorses, hauling, towing, and grinding through the dirt of everyday life. But today, these same trucks are worth a small fortune. From forgotten farm haulers to rugged classics that defined an era, their value has skyrocketed and collectors can't get enough. Buckle up, because we're counting down the 10 vintage trucks that are now worth a fortune. Proof that real steel and timeless design never go out of style. Number 1. Mack B61. There's a certain sound that echoes through trucking history. The deep, throaty growl of a Mack B61 climbing a mountain pass in the early morning fog. This wasn't just a truck, it was a symbol of America's post-war power, a mechanical bulldog that helped rebuild a nation. When the B61 rolled out in 1953, it instantly set new standards for reliability, strength, and toughness. Mack's engineers designed it to last forever, and in many cases, it nearly did. Under the hood sat the now legendary ND673 Thermodyne diesel, a straight six that delivered impressive torque and could run for millions of miles with proper care. The truck's design was brutally functional, yet strangely beautiful. Rounded fenders, a high stance, and that iconic chrome bulldog ornament standing proud on the hood. Drivers loved its no-nonsense layout, easy maintenance, and the feeling of invincibility behind the wheel. You didn't drive a B61, you commanded it. Many of these trucks hauled heavy freight across America's expanding interstate system during the 1950s and 60s, carrying steel, concrete, machinery, and the nation's hopes for progress. Over decades of service, they became legends in construction sites, logging roads, and long-haul routes. Today, finding an authentic, unrestored B61 is a challenge. Most were worked to death or modified beyond recognition, but collectors know the value of a true survivor. A fully restored Mack B61, especially with its original Thermodyne engine, air start system, and period-correct paint, can command $150,000 or more at auctions. Some rare variants, tandem axle models, or early sleeper cabs go even higher. Restoring one is a labor of love. Every bolt carries history. Every dent tells a story. To own a Mack B61 today is to own a piece of the road itself, a diesel symphony of American grit and glory. Number 2. Scania LB76. While American trucks stretched their hoods proudly toward the horizon, Europe took another route. Compact, efficient, and forward-thinking. The Scania LB76 was the masterpiece that proved a truck didn't need a long nose to be powerful. Released in 1963, this Swedish-built hauler changed how Europe thought about truck design forever. The LB76 featured a cab-over-engine layout, which gave it a short overall length but left more space for cargo, a crucial advantage on narrow European roads and strict length-regulated routes. Powered by Scania's dependable inline-six diesel, the truck offered exceptional torque and reliability in cold, punishing Scandinavian climates. Many LB76s operated in the brutal Arctic Circle conditions, hauling timber, machinery, and fuel across icy terrain where failure was not an option. What made the LB76 truly stand out, however, was comfort and driver focus. The interior was simple but well-designed, wide windows, excellent visibility, and ergonomic controls. Truckers who spent endless nights in frozen laybys appreciated its warm heater and sturdy construction. The LB76 wasn't glamorous, but it was unstoppable. Today, only a handful of LB76s survive, most restored lovingly by enthusiasts in Sweden and the UK. Finding original Scania badging, the pre-merger emblem, adds significant collector value. Restored units can bring over £100,000, with Concours-level restorations surpassing even that. The LB76's influence can still be seen in every modern Scania cab-over truck. It was the foundation on which Scania built its reputation for unmatched durability and driver comfort. To collectors, the LB76 represents the moment Europe found its trucking identity. Practical, strong, and beautiful in its efficiency. When one fires up today, that slow, rhythmic diesel hum feels like the heartbeat of a nation that engineered its way to perfection. Number 3. Kenworth W900A. No truck captures the soul of American trucking culture like the Kenworth W900A. This machine wasn't just built for work, it was built for pride. Introduced in the late 1960s, it became the dream truck of every long-haul driver in the golden age of American freight. With its extended hood, vertical exhaust stacks, and mirror-polished chrome, the W900A looked more like a rock star than a workhorse. Beneath that long nose was pure muscle, the Cummins NTC 350 or Detroit Diesel 8V71, both capable of hauling the heaviest loads across the Rockies or through the Arizona desert. But what truckers loved most was how it made them feel. Owning a Kenworth meant you were the captain of your destiny, free to chase the horizon and live life on your own terms. This was the truck immortalized in movies like Convoy and Smokey and the Bandit 2. It became a pop culture icon, symbolizing rebellion, independence, and the American open road. Each W900A was built with heavy aluminum construction for reduced weight, allowing higher payloads and better corrosion resistance, an innovation for its time. Today, collectors treat the W900A like a classic muscle car. Fully restored models, especially those with original paint, matching engines, and vintage interiors, can command $200,000. Custom show versions, dripping in chrome and fitted with airbrushed murals, can exceed even that. The truck's timeless design still inspires Kenworth's modern W900 series, proof that some legends never fade. For those who lived behind its massive steering wheel, the W900A wasn't just transportation, it was freedom forged in steel. And that kind of legacy can never be replicated, only preserved. Number 4. Mercedes-Benz LP 333 Millipede. In the post-war reconstruction boom, Germany faced strict laws regulating truck axle loads. But Mercedes engineers didn't see limitations, they saw an opportunity for innovation. The result was the Mercedes-Benz LP 333, a truck so unique it was nicknamed Der Tausendfüßler, the Millipede. The LP 333 featured twin front steering axles, creating a six-wheeled cab-over truck that could legally carry heavier loads while distributing weight evenly. It was a design marvel, one part necessity, one part brilliance. Powered by a 10.8-liter diesel engine producing around 180 horsepower, it had torque for days and an unmistakable silhouette that turned heads everywhere it went. Mercedes spared no expense in design. The LP's cab was angular yet elegant, its proportions futuristic compared to other European trucks of the era. It handled beautifully, with the extra front axle giving it surprising maneuverability for its size. German logistics companies loved it for its efficiency, while engineers admired its daring approach to a regulatory problem. Few were produced, only a few hundred units, and even fewer survive. Many were used relentlessly in industrial service and scrapped, but those that did survive are now among the most coveted European vintage trucks ever made. Fully restored LP 333s, especially those with factory documentation, can fetch £200,000 to £250,000 in private sales and classic auctions. Owning one today is like owning a rolling piece of Mercedes-Benz engineering history, a symbol of how innovation can spring from constraint. With its unusual six-legged stance and timeless engineering, the LP 333 stands as one of the rarest and most valuable vintage trucks in Europe. Number 5. Peterbilt 359. The Peterbilt 359 wasn't just a truck. It was a legend, a symbol of power and perfection that defined American long-haul trucking for nearly 2 decades. Built for drivers who took pride in their rigs, the 359 became an icon of the road and remains one of the most collectible big rigs in the world today. When introduced in 1967, the 359 combined ruggedness with sophistication. Its aluminum body made it lighter and more corrosion-resistant than competitors, while its long hood housed an array of powerful engines, from Cummins big cams to Detroit Diesel and Caterpillar power plants. The result was unmatched performance, pulling capability, and reliability. But the 359's magic wasn't just mechanical. It was emotional. Drivers loved its customizable nature. Chrome stacks, stainless visors, custom lights, and bold paint schemes made each truck unique. For many, the Peterbilt 359 was more than a job. It was a lifestyle statement, a symbol of pride and independence. Collectors today go wild for original 359s, especially those with low mileage or continuous family ownership. Restored show trucks can fetch $300,000 depending on condition and provenance. Movie appearances, like the evil truck in Duel 1971, have given the 359 an almost mythical aura. Its DNA lives on in the modern Peterbilt 379, but purists still say nothing beats the raw soul of the original 359. It's the kind of machine that rumbles through history, chrome shining, diesel thundering, reminding everyone that the highway will always have heroes. Number 6. Volvo F88. When the Volvo F88 rolled onto European roads in the mid-1960s, it didn't just mark a new truck, it marked a revolution. Before the F88, most European trucks were tough but crude, with limited comfort and reliability issues on long-distance routes. Volvo changed that forever. Underneath its boxy, unassuming design was one of the most dependable engines of the 20th century, the TD100 9.6-liter turbo diesel, producing around 260 horsepower. It might not sound like much by today's standards, but back then it was a revelation. This engine could haul 40 tons across the Alps without overheating, stalling, or complaining. The F88 quickly became the workhorse of international haulers, from Sweden to Spain, from the icy Baltic routes to the heat of southern Italy. What really made it stand out was driver comfort. Volvo gave truckers a proper seat, full insulation, a heater that could thaw the Arctic, and a cab designed for visibility and safety. For drivers spending weeks away from home, the F88 felt like a rolling apartment. But the F88 wasn't just about comfort, it was about endurance. Trucking companies loved it because it rarely broke down. Maintenance was simple, parts were well engineered, and the truck's robust chassis could outlast the competition by decades. Today, the F88 is a crown jewel in any European truck collection. Original examples with matching engine numbers and authentic liveries from historical haulage companies are especially prized. Restored trucks can fetch £150,000 to £200,000, and enthusiasts often showcase them at rallies and vintage convoys across Scandinavia and the UK. It's more than nostalgia, it's respect. The F88 represents the rise of modern European logistics, when long-haul trucking became an art form. When one of these green and white giants fires up today, the low diesel growl still echoes across history, a reminder that Volvo once built the truck that conquered a continent. Number 7. International Transtar 4070. In the late 1960s, the International Transtar 4070A appeared like something from the future. With its tall, square cab-over design and huge windshield, it became one of America's most recognizable trucks, a mechanical titan designed for the era of endless freight and booming interstates. This was the age before aerodynamic streamlining, when trucks were raw, square, and bold. The 4070A was powered by Detroit Diesel 8V71 or Cummins NTC engines, giving it muscle to haul massive loads coast to coast. The cab-over engine layout made it shorter overall, which was essential for fleet efficiency and trailer compatibility. Fleet owners loved its practicality. Drivers loved its visibility. That panoramic glass gave them an unmatched view of the open road. But make no mistake, driving one of these beasts took skill and grit. The engine sat directly beneath the cab, meaning the driver was practically riding on top of the diesel symphony. The heat, vibration, and noise were constant companions, but so was a sense of power. Truckers who drove Transtar 4070 as often say it was like taming a wild animal, thrilling, demanding, and unforgettable. Over time, most were worked into the ground, replaced by newer aerodynamic models. But the 4070A has recently become a collector's darling. Enthusiasts now scour salvage yards and barns for restorable examples. Restored trucks, especially with original paint and vintage fleet liveries like Consolidated Freightways or Allied Van Lines, can bring $150,000. At shows across the US, the 4070A commands crowds. Its bold grille and towering cab recall a time when America's highways were ruled by unstoppable machines and fearless drivers. For many collectors, the TranStar isn't just a truck, it's a symbol of a proud era when the job was hard, the roads were long, and the machines were pure. Number 8. Berliet TR 350. In the 1970s, France wanted to show the world that it could build a truck to rival the best from Germany and Sweden. The result was the Berliet TR 350, a magnificent V8-powered brute that became the pride of French engineering. Built for the long haul, this was a truck that could climb the Alps with 40 tons on its back and still look graceful doing it. The TR 350 was powered by Berliet's own V8 turbo diesel engine, producing roughly 350 horsepower, a serious figure at the time. The engine's deep rolling growl became its signature sound, earning it a place in the hearts of European truckers. Its cab, designed with curved glass and large panoramic windows, gave it a futuristic look that stood out from the boxier Scandinavian competition. Inside, the TR 350 offered space, comfort, and thoughtful ergonomics. It was a driver's truck, powerful, stable, and smooth on the highway. French long-haul drivers, known as routiers, swore by its reliability and handling. Whether crossing the Pyrenees or hauling freight to Eastern Europe, the TR 350 became a trusted companion. Today, Berliet's legacy lives on mostly in museums and private collections, since the brand merged into Renault trucks decades ago. Surviving TR 350s are rare. Many were scrapped or left to rust after long service lives. But restorers in France, Italy, and the UK have begun reviving them. A well-restored TR 350, especially one with original Berliet V8 power and period livery, can now command £180,000 to £220,000. It's more than just a truck, it's a symbol of French pride and engineering artistry. With its bold design and thunderous sound, the Berliet TR 350 stands as a monument to an era when Europe's highways thundered with diesel power and national identity was forged in steel. Number 9. Mack Superliner. When the Mack Superliner was introduced in 1977, it didn't just enter the trucking world, it dominated it. Built for strength, luxury, and pure visual intimidation, this truck was Mack's answer to the evolving American dream on wheels. It carried the same proud bulldog badge as its legendary B61 ancestor, but it had grown into something even more formidable. Under the hood, the Superliner came with Mack's V8 END 864, or later E9 engines, beasts capable of up to 500 horsepower. Its frame was built to withstand the heaviest loads, from cross-country freight to logging and construction work. The design was unmistakable: long, squared-off hood, massive chrome bumper, twin stacks, and enough presence to make smaller vehicles move aside instinctively. But the Superliner wasn't just about power. Mack made it a premium rig for professional drivers with air ride suspension, plush interiors, and improved driver comfort. It was the trucker's dream rig, offering both brute force and refinement. When country legend Jerry Reed drove a Mack Superliner in Smokey and the Bandit 2, it became immortalized in pop culture. Collectors now pay big money for these giants. Restored examples with matching numbers, original engines, and authentic Mack accessories can easily fetch $200,000, especially early production models. Some customized Superliners with rare factory paint or extended sleepers have gone for even higher. Every time one fires up, its deep V8 rumble shakes the ground, a reminder of an era when trucks had character, noise, and soul. The Mack Superliner remains a symbol of American trucking's golden age, when bigger truly meant better, and every mile was a battle won through diesel thunder. Number 10. Scania 141. No European truck commands respect quite like the Scania 1. Introduced in the mid-1970s, it was a masterpiece of engineering that turned Scania into a global powerhouse. With its muscular stance, bold grille, and roaring V8 engine, the 141 didn't just transport cargo, it carried a legend. Its 14.2-liter V8 diesel was the beating heart of European long-haul transport. Producing up to 375 horsepower, it offered performance, torque, and reliability unmatched at the time. It could pull 40 tons across the Alps or through Nordic snowstorms without faltering. Truckers loved its sound, a deep rhythmic growl that became the music of European highways. The Scania 141 was also a trucker's home. Its cab was ergonomic, warm, and practical, perfect for long-haul drivers who often lived weeks on the road. The truck's Scandinavian build quality meant it rarely broke down, earning it a reputation as the unbreakable Viking. From the UK to Spain, the 141 became a symbol of pride. Today, surviving 141s are among the most valuable European vintage trucks. Collectors pay £200,000 to £300,000 for top-tier restorations, especially those with original Scania V8 engines and classic fleet colors. Entire clubs across Europe are dedicated to preserving them, hosting meets where these chrome warriors roar once again. To this day, when one of these V8 beasts thunders down a road, people stop and stare. The Scania 141 isn't just a truck, it's a legend carved in diesel and steel, a symbol of endurance, craftsmanship, and the golden age of European trucking, when the open road belonged to the brave. Once tools of hard work, these trucks have become treasures of history, and their prices prove it. Which one would you want in your garage if money was no object? Tell me in the comments below. If you love classic machines, rare finds, and automotive legends, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from the golden age of trucks. Thanks for watching, and remember, every rusted relic has a story, and sometimes it's worth a fortune.